reviewing the DJI Osmo Pocket. Let's roll. Hi, this is bobbydbuze, and today I'm going to be reviewing the DJI Osmo Pocket. Now, I actually already shot this review earlier on, I think last week, but the reason I'm redoing the whole thing is because I shot it when I was walking to the Apple store, actually, to get my new iPhone. And unfortunately, I got to the Apple store, got my new iPhone, I completely forgot that I was laving. Is that a word? Well, I was doing the audio through my old iPhone, and I wiped that one and lost all the audio, so I have to do the whole thing again. But it's fine, you know. And that's the reason I'm walking right now, because I did the whole thing walking because I wanted to show what it's capable of if you want to use it, especially as a vlogging camera. And I think it's pretty good. And here's why. Number one, it actually fits in your pocket, as opposed to something like the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, which I have, which obviously doesn't fit in your pocket. This does, and that helps a lot because, at least I don't want to always be walking around having a big-ass rig and just, with tiring your hand with a Joby Gorilla Pod and all that. Sometimes it's nice just to have a tiny thing in your pocket. Hang on. Sometimes it's nice just to have a tiny camera in your pocket, which you can just, I was gonna say whip out, but no, but which you can take out and use for, smaller purposes, especially for vlogging and stuff. Now, the other thing that I love is the convenience of it, because if you are walking around with this big ass camera, especially you're in some famous public place, there's gonna be people, some security people or somebody will come up to you and be like, hey, you know what, you're not allowed to film here, do you have a filming permit and all that. And even other people, it's more what's the word, I forget the word, but the point is that if you're walking around with a tiny little camera like this, not a lot of people are going to say anything unless you're talking to it, which I am right now, and which just makes you look weird. So yeah, the other thing would be, so if you're just walking around with the Osmo Pocket or something, people usually just assume you're just some dumbass tourist. Yeah, so if you're walking around with an Osmo Pocket, people are less likely to freak out, especially if you have a big camera rig, then people are more likely to look at you and be like, what the fuck is this guy doing? So it helps to have a smaller camera when you're doing these kind of things. Another thing is that this thing has excellent autofocus. I've just upgraded the new firmware to the one that has the face detection autofocus, and that seems to work pretty well, I think, I hope. Well, I mean, so far, it seems to be doing that. Next thing I want to talk about is that this thing has excellent image quality. You get 4K, and it goes up to 60 frames per second if you do want to get that slow-mo stuff done, which is great. Currently, they only have D-Cine-like. That's the best you can get. They don't have D-Log as they do in the drones and stuff, but I'm really hoping that one day they do upgrade through firmware and we get D-Log in this, because that would really help. But even with the D-Cine-like, all my YouTube videos so far that I've been shooting with this, and I think they look fine. They look great. So I'm fairly happy with the way the image quality comes out of this. Now, it does have a lot of cheap accessories you can get, which is also great, because your whole vlogging setup, if you're trying to go with a Sony or a Canon, or you know how much I hate those cameras in the first place, but even if you're trying to build up an entire setup and get all your filters, your whole rig, everything done, it'll still come out much cheaper than if you're using those more expensive mirrorless or DSLR cameras. See, currently I've picked up a set of a bunch of filters for this camera, including a bunch of ND filters, which you will definitely need. Especially with London, the problem is that the weather changes so fast, especially the sun comes and goes. So I started by putting no ND on it because it was gray skies, and then it got a little less cloudy, so I put on an ND4, and then I had to put on Right now I'm still at an ND4, but I mean, I got up till 64 because sometimes when it's really sunny, you need that shit. I do recommend getting the ones with the CPL built in because that really helps, you know. I mean, I always prefer having a polarizer on your thing. Get a clear night filter if you're going to be filming at night because that makes a big difference. I think Freewell makes really good ones, so do have a look at those. And other than that, like, get yourself something like, currently I'm running, there's a, oh, by the way, sorry, before I forget, there's a wide angle lens. I think Freewell just made that. The Ulanzi made, I have that one. But that one blurs out all the background from the sides and everything. So you don't really want to be using that unless you're trying to go for that kind of effect. It's better to get the one that Freewell makes. But like, again, I prefer like using like a selfie stick kind of thing, which you can attach to, like it has like a GoPro kind of mount. And if you use that, like on a selfie stick, you get this angle like what you're seeing right now, as opposed to a big wide angle that you're holding with your hand and it just makes your face look all fucked up, all messed up. Sorry, I know I'm not supposed to swear on these videos a lot. Can't help it. Right, the one thing you will struggle with this camera are audio options. Now you do get that really overpriced, like 40-pound USB-C to 3.5 millimeter adapter for this camera, which personally I think is way overpriced. I know I said that already, but damn, dude, 40 pounds for just a little tiny thingy? It should be like 10, 20 bucks tops, but okay. But the problem is, like, the way I'm running this setup, if I have that connected, I will have to be running a wire down all the way to the phone where I'm monitoring this video, which isn't very convenient. So instead, right now, I'm running a lav, if you heard that, into my iPhone and just doing that. I will probably be picking up like a Zoom F1 or something, maybe, so that the audio is a little bit cleaner, a little more crisper. But for now, I think it's doing an okay job. It's severely windy out here. I do got a little wind thingy, you know, the fur thingy on the mic. I hope the audio is coming out okay. But, you know, we'll see. All right, guys, so that is some of the basic reasons why I think this is a really good setup for vloggers or people doing videos like I do. You know, it's cheaper than your typical DSLR mirrorless options. It's more convenient. It's easy to get all the accessories. It fits in your pocket. And I really do recommend it. So if you have any questions, let me know. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I will see you in the next one.